Okay. Daredevil Born Again, Season 2, Episode 4. What the hell did they call this one? Jesus. I didn't write it down. I have notes. I did not write down the title of this episode. It's really, it's really, I wanted to do this because I did watch all of Season 1, Born Again. And it's just kind of a slog. It's slow. It's plodding. Gloves off. This is episode 4, gloves off. And again, I reiterate, slow, plodding, boring for the most part, at least to me, and Daredevil's side character. And I'm actually going to prove it because I wrote down a bunch of things right here on this little notepad. How many times Daredevil, Matt Murdock, appeared in this episode. This is a 50-minute episode, so please take your time and think. How much time does the main character, Matt Murdock, a.k.a. the Daredevil, appear in this episode? Go ahead, take a guess and see if you got the number I got at the end. I will say this about this episode. I was surprised how good it started. It actually started well. This is a good start to this episode. And again, I will crap on things. That's fine. But if someone does something right, I'm going to appreciate it. And I do like the opening of this episode. We have basically a little bit of a day in the life of Bullseye. He's in his apartment. He's making breakfast, frying an egg, apparently to give to like his neighbor's cat. He's exercising, doing regular stuff, says hi to the neighbor, goes off, and then he goes to a diner. When he gets there, he's trying to decide what is he going to order for like breakfast or whatever, and he orders a banana milkshake for whatever reason. And then he starts to look around, noticing all the environment around him. What he's looking at utensils on the side. You got a knife and fork, got a knife and fork on the other side. What is he doing? Because he's Bullseye. He's finding weapons, of course. He even takes a toothpick, because anything can be a weapon for Bullseye. Why is he there? Well, he places a call to the task force hotline saying, hey, I'm at this diner and Frank Castle is here. All right. So yeah, he's calling in the task force because basically it's a setup. They all arrive and he then proceeds to just murk the hell out of them all. And again, I'm going to point out, this is actually a well-done sequence. I actually enjoy this sequence. It's shot well. It looks good, which is really interesting because I've had a little criticism about the action in the show and how it's shot, but this actually looks good. I enjoy this. Seeing him just like be Bullseye, taking out these task force guys left and right. And he pauses at the end. There's a guy cowering in one of the seats. And he's like, I'm not going to hurt you. You're not the bad guy. He's like that attitude. It's like the guy's got like this weird chihuahua dog, Chihuahua or something, whatever. And one of the task force guys starts to get up. And the dude who's sitting in the booth is having lobster at this diner. What freaking diner serves full lobster? Whatever. Bullseye grabs the claw, and I swear, I actually burst out laughing when I was watching it. He killed the task force dude with the claw right in the eye. It's ridiculous, but I kind of liked it. And then he just, walks out, puts a Bullseye sign on the door and ketchup. That's it. That's the opening. I like that. I enjoyed that. After that, oh dear, we're going back into our old tropes for this series. Yeah. Matt and Karen are at their hideout wherever they are, and they're recording interviews with everyone who they broke out of, Fisk's task force, dark site, Guantanamo Bay, whatever in New York. They're really not vigilantes. They're just going with the anti-ICE narrative that's very popular these days where they're just arresting minorities. So it's a bunch of minorities saying, I did nothing wrong and I got arrested because we're doing a narrative. Swordsman is still there. You remember Swordsman? Yeah. Remember the vicious vigilante put on trial? Yeah, he seemed very significant, right? Well, bye-bye. He's gone. He's gone. Yeah, that's it. He appears and he's like, it's too much for me. I'm out of here. And he says, Matt, you have access to my bank account. So this billionaire guy just basically tells Matt Murdock, hey, here's my debit card. Here's my account. Bankroll your rebellion. What? I mean, seriously, why did you bring him in? This is really part of the problems I have with the show. First off, the ignorance of actual vigilantes in New York City is wrong. We don't even mention Spider-Man, for God's sakes.
It's so weird.
So yeah, I guess that's it. That was the big vigilante trial. We're done with that. He's gone. He's not going to appear. I guess the actor has to go and do something else. Also, point of order, the first time Matt Murdock, Daredevil, appears in this show, this is an over 50-minute show. He appears at the 11:20 mark. So that's 11 minutes where the main character of this show is not in this. I actually wrote down the times. I went through and wrote down the times. There's a reason. So we now get some time where we don't see Matt, aka Daredevil, at all. There's a raid at his law office. Kirsten's there. There's some back and forth between her and the AVTF. We're supposed to care about this. I really don't. At some point, Karen shows up and she needs Kirsten's help because apparently the first mate of the Northern Star, the ship that went down in the harbor that Fisk blew up, he's resurfaced and has come to Daredevil and Karen for help. So now they want Kirsten to represent him. So now Kirsten's brought in. We then get a scene with Vanessa and Fisk where he doesn't want her to go to this exhibition fight. He's doing this exhibition fight against some boxer for charity for some reason. I don't know why, to raise money for his project. And he's trying to get her out of town. He sends her to talk to the governor. The takeaway for this whole scene to me is how just, I don't want to say that. I'm just going to have to say the word. I don't like the word, but literally cucked Kingpin looks in this whole thing. He seems very weak. He does not seem like the Kingpin that we know. Even when he's in close, intimate, personal situations with Vanessa, there's still an edge to him. At least that's how I always took it. He's still Kingpin. Yeah, he's softer talking to her, but now he's literally appearing weak. I mean, look at this one image of him here. He looks like he's gonna burst into freaking tears. I don't know. Maybe all the shit that happened when they brought him in to the MCU with Kate Bishop beating him with a bunch of arrows and then Echo, taking away his pain, just literally sucked the fucking testosterone out of the dude. He's not Kingpin. He's not Kingpin to me. And speaking of not being Kingpin, when Vanessa meets with the governor, first off, the governor's all pissed. She's like, I can't deal with the mayor. Your husband's insane. He's doing things all wrong. And Vanessa basically tells the governor, I got this. I'm in charge, really. It's me. I'm the one. I can control him. So again, now we're getting Kingpin being emasculated even more. Yeah, it's just not good. It's not good. And nothing against Vincent D'Onofrio. I think he likes playing the character. He's always done a good job. He's a great actor. But I think the writers are failing him here, and they're failing the character of Kingpin. Well, speaking of characters, the two main ones, Kingpin and Matt. Matt finally shows back up after, how many time I got here? Well, I think it's about, he does something significant around the 26-minute mark. He starts investigating. He goes to the crime scene. He dresses in a task force uniform, goes to the crime scene where Bullseye killed everybody and is able to track him down. And he first goes to church. He goes, I guess, to his old church where, the priest he used to confide in his past, or was killed, if I recall correctly. And his mom, Maggie, is off in the Vatican doing a sabbatical or something. So he talks to the new young priest who actually saw talking to Bullseye earlier in the series. So we actually have Matt go to church. I think this is the first time in Daredevil Born Again that we've actually seen Matt go to church. Really significant because Matt's internal conflict, being a devout Catholic compared to what he does, was part of the, character focus of him in the Netflix series. But I guess now we just finally get to it. He's praying and everything, and he learns from the father there, the young father, that, Bullseye was there, and he tracks Bullseye to his apartment, and that's where we actually have a standoff. So we actually get a little bit of a fight. And I will say again that I do not like the Disney-fication of the fights on Daredevil. I prefer the more raw, natural, Netflix style, where it was much more, say, visceral and realistic. I that hit better. I think it hit better with the tone of that show. They're trying to do it here, but the problem is they're doing too many jumps, too many cuts, and a little too much CGI. At one point, both Matt and Bullseye wind up to hit each other, and it's almost comical. They hit each other at the same time. It's not all realistic. It's stupid, and they hit each other at the same time. They knock each other to the ground. Ultimately, in the end, Bullseye takes his neighbor hostage and tells Matt, "Hey, I just need to do this. I need to do this one good thing to clear my conscience." What's this one good thing? Well, we're gonna find out. Well, this is, we still got all the witness recordings with Karen and all the people who they rescued, and the first mate, and Kirsten's there, and it's just distracting from the story, in my opinion. I guess there's going to be some sort of connection. Maybe they're going to go public with it. I guess, I don't know. But then we get to the boxing match, the whole exciting exhibition match, and is to raise money for Fisk, New York Born Again campaign. I guess they don't have money in the coffers, so they're trying to do a charity match. And Fisk is excessive. It's an exhibition match, and we literally see like old style Kingpin when he would lose his shit. There's no reason for this at all. There's no logical reason for him to do what he does, where he basically beats the ever-loving F out of the opponent, the boxer. He just pounds him and beats the crap out of him. It's brutal. And I don't have a problem with brutality when it comes to fighting, but the senseless brutality, it actually makes Kingpin look unhinged. He does get, I got to clarify that, because he does get unhinged sometimes in the original Netflix series, but there's a reason for it. There's no reason for it here. It's just like, I'm frustrated. I don't know. I just want to beat the shit out of this guy. So he beats the hell out of the guy. And then he holds up a belt, because I guess this was some championship belt. And Vanessa's there. She shows up, even though he didn't want her to. So he comes in the ring, and guess who shows up, of course? Well, yes, Bullseye is there, because he's there to get a little bit of revenge. He told Matt he's going to do something to correct all of his past, fix things, and I guess it's to kill Kingpin. He takes out all the task force people, no problem, and he then, gets ready to kill Kingpin. Vanessa actually shoots him. She's there. She just Fisk wants her out, but she pulls a gun, shoots Bullseye right through the gut while he's throwing a glass statue, I guess, of New York at Kingpin, who for some reason knocks it away with his championship belt, shattering it. And this is important. It shatters. We don't see where the parts go, but it's important. Fisk then grabs a gun from one of the security officers and points it at Bullseye. And hey, guess what? Matt is back. Now Murdock is back. He's there. Daredevil knocks the gun out and then engages Bullseye in a fight. They're knocked out into the street. And then Bullseye runs off. Matt chases him. That's it for Matt. That was the end of Daredevil's appearance. But the end is Fisk turns around and sees that there's a giant shard of glass in Vanessa's head. Blood pooling out from her head. Is she dead? We don't know. But yeah, that's the episode. That's the episode. And still following the same pattern we had before. Daredevil Born Again, featuring occasionally the character of Daredevil, aka Matt Murdock, played by Charlie Cox, who is now secondary character in his own show. Oh, I forgot. Shaggy showed up again at some point. There's stuff with BB and Daniel, Gandolfini Jr. I just don't care. I don't care about any of these people, any of these side quests. It does not forward the narrative, because I honestly don't know what the narrative is right now, other than unseat Trump, get rid of ICE, because that's what it's all about. That's the truth of it. But Matt is just very much sidelined. So I went through, as I said, and I literally wrote down time marks where we have Matt Murdock as Daredevil appear. He did not appear until the 11:20 mark of the show. The total time of him in this show, which is almost 50 minutes, and that includes the actual intro at the beginning and the recaps, just to be clear, 11 minutes and 30 seconds approximately. So he's basically in a little over a quarter of this show called Daredevil. Why? Charlie Cox knows this role. He's good at this role. We've seen him do it so well before, and we're just sidelining him. For what reason? We literally had like almost 10 minutes of Karen talking, of Vanessa talking to the governor. Nothing from Matt. Yeah, he investigates something. He does little, kind of like Dark Knight detective style investigation. That's fine. That's fine. He can do that. He has the skills to do that. That's fine. But still, he's very much reactive. He's off to the side. He's not the main character. He's not driving the story, and that's the problem. That's the problem. This is not a Daredevil show. This is everything else besides Daredevil. And he shows up now and then in his costume, which, again, I point out, the costume is great. Love the black costume. Love the DD etched in red. Totally great costume. And he's a good actor. He knows his character. So's D'Onofrio. They both know their characters. They're just given shit scripts. That's the problem. Oh, God. I know there are people out there loving this episode, best ever. And apparently some people say it gets even better after this. I just want something exciting, because this was not about Matt Murdock. This was Bullseye-centric episode. And that actor is actually doing a good job as Bullseye. But it has to still connect with Matt Murdock. And I'm not feeling it. I'm not getting it. I'm bored by all the side quests and everything. I just want old style Netflix Matt Murdock. I'm sorry. I'm old. I like the nostalgia of it. I like it when it was good. So, it's like they're almost there. They're like giving you a taste of it, but it's not there. It's annoying and boring and not quite Daredevil. So yeah, episode 4, done. I hope you enjoyed your 11 minutes of Daredevil in his own show, which is 50 minutes long. Questions, comments, witticism down below. Click all the good buttons. See you guys next time.